Just another day in the spot shop. What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna teach you how to do some cool script lettering the way that I do it, of course. Just using this little kit that I sell on my website, but you can buy it anywhere else. These are just Tombow markers. I like the gray. This is the N95 gray, so you can add your shadow. You want to add some highlights. I just use these little white Prismacolors, the little pencils, and of course the Tombow 969 is the brown I'm going to use today, but you could use the black or red or blue, whatever it is you want to use. Doesn't matter as long as it's darker than the gray, because the gray is going to be the shadow. But I'm going to teach you guys how I do my sketches, because first I sketch with these, then I'll dump it into Illustrator, trace them, and now you got some script lettering that's vectored. So, gotta start with the bare minimum, the basics. Now, we're gonna start off with the word low and slow. So, just because I love the way it sounds, you're going to start with the darkest color, which is going to be the main lettering, and you come in, L. One thing about script lettering is that you want your cap to be higher than the X height. This is your cap, your main letter. This would be your X height. So LOW would be in the same, basically the same, what is it called? It would be the same height. So I'm gonna draw this line here, draw this line here, and they'll be the same height basically. So LO, and then just for some style, I'm gonna bring that out like that. The W gets connected to the O, and notice how this angle here is the same angle as the O, same angle as the W. That's all for a reason. You want to make sure your angles are exactly the same. I'm bringing this out like this because it just adds more character. A little pinstripe, a little curly Q. And then the ampersand, which is the and symbol, we're just gonna basically do a little small one, just like that. And then remember, your S is going to be bigger. I'm actually going to bring it out like this, but your S is going to be bigger than the X height. So this would be your cap height here, and then your X height, I'm going to put it right at the bottom of this ampersand. Gives it a little bit of space to breathe. And remember this height here, so this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So remember 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So try to do about the same. Your L comes up a little bit higher than your cap height, but your O is always going to be the same as your cap height. To make it visually more appealing, you want the O to drop a little bit below the baseline here, which this would be your baseline, and you want it to go above your X height just a little bit. That's with round letters, so like O's, even what other letter would have it, like a G or whatever, but SLO. Alright, and then remember how you did, I have a bunch of different types of scripts. So I always got to make sure and I look at what I did up here, so that if I'm going to do another letter that's the same as, it's the same letter that I used up here, I want it to look almost identical. So I'll go like this. And then, I could bring this and do that too. It's just for a little bit of curly Q. Let's add some more curly Q here. I'm going to connect this O here. But just remember, you gotta have your X height, you gotta have the angle the same on every letter,
And your cap, your capital or drop cap, it can drop below and it can shoot above the X height. So that's basically, you know, like the bones of this. And of course it looks messy as hell because I got all these lines going through it and everything. What I usually do, this is just basically to show you guys. So let me get you closer because it's hard to see from back there, I guess. Let's see. But so these little pencils here, I'll usually flatten it out so it doesn't have a point, and I'll come in here and just add these little highlights. There's a bunch of different ways to do them. They have like snow caps where you do the tops, or you could do them this way. I like putting them in the middle of the letter right now, just for the sake of this design. You want to kind of have them in the same area. This is a cap, the capital letters, so I'm making it go a little higher. But all the lowercase letters are going to be about the same height, just so it looks like there's a light hitting it right in the same area. It just helps with the visual aesthetics of it, or whatever you want to call it. But now you can rub it. See, because it's colored pencil, you can come in and like rub it off and make it not pop out as much. You can even come in with the back of the Tombow and clean up the edges so it's just in the centers. See what I'm saying? If you see anything that needs to be fixed, this is your chance to fix it. But yeah, just come in. If this needs to be thicker, so I come in and make it thicker, clean the edge there. I like how this looks, so I'm actually just gonna make it more pronounced. I kind of like how I did this bump here, so I'm gonna add it up here as well. You see that? I just think it looks kind of cool. Sometimes it looks cool, sometimes it doesn't. Right now, I like how it looks. There it is. And then, that's where you get your N95, your shadows. And you come in, I start from the left to right, but I have the drop shadow drop to the bottom right. So make sure you're following along. As you can see, it looks like it's casting a shadow. I don't know if it's super visible on the camera, so I'll zoom in when I'm done. But basically, you're just doing the little drop shadow from your letter. One thing I do, you'll notice it in a lot of my designs, is I use those shadows. You see these? I actually should have used probably a darker one for this one just because the camera is not picking it up as well. But I use the shadow color as a second color for pinstriping. So I'll come in and just come in and add more pinstriping because it's there, you can see it, but it's not taken away from the lettering. I like that subtle look, you know. You can probably see it better in the shade, but yeah, you see that? Now, and I'll just wherever I feel like it needs some pinstriping, you know. Yeah. And that's how you use these markers. This was basically just to show you how to use this kit, you know, that I put together over time.
So remember, it's the N95 Tombow. I think that's how you Tombow, whatever. Just the regular white Prismacolor, and then you can use a black. I don't have any blacks in hand right now, but you just use the black or a brown or a red or a blue, whatever dark color you want for the letters. I like using something super dark so that when I scan it, Illustrator can read it easily. But that's up to your preference. You can even just leave it like this, send this out to a client if they don't need you to vector it or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty easy to do script lettering when you're using brush pens and you got the right color for a highlight and the right color for the shadow. In person, you can see the shadow really well. On the camera, it might not have picked it up as much, but you definitely see it in person. So pick up a set, go to the website www.spock.co and start working. If you did pick up a set and you started working with these, show me what you got. Send them to me on Instagram. You already know where my Instagram is at @LSpock. Instagram @LSpock. So send them on over. I want to see what everybody's working on. Let me know if these actually help you. I don't know what you're using right now. One thing that people like to do is take like thinner pens or smaller brush pens and draw out the letters, draw the thickness, and then color it in and all that. I believe in tool markings. A tool marking is the marking that each tool makes when you use it. And when you use a thick brush pen like this, you're gonna get thick script. You're gonna get real thin thins and real thick thicks. So I think that's the key to a nice, chunky script. And you saw how I did it. So get you a set and go do it yourself. Thanks for tuning in. Until the next video. See ya.